Good morning, professionals you trust. Today, for our 10-minute presentation, we have Tania McLaughlin with American Family Insurance. We asked Tania to answer a few questions to get us an introduction before she starts. The first one was, is it ever okay to waste time? No, all we have is now. We also asked her what coffee she drinks in the morning for her morning meeting. This one surprises me a little. A triple 16-ounce white chocolate Americano with peppermint. What was your first job, Tania? It was a busser and a dish pit kid at Mama Pazzarelli's dinner house in Black Diamond. Where did you grow up? She grew up in Ravensdale, Washington. Who would you want on your team in a zombie apocalypse? Woody Harrelson from Zombieland. That's probably a good choice. And then our last question is, name one thing still on your bucket list. She wants to participate in a Flugtag or see the Hadron Collider work. Welcome, Tania McLaughlin.
Thank you, Leslie. So good morning, everyone. I'm Tania McLaughlin with McLaughlin and Associates of American Family Insurance, where we are your insurance team. Here we are a team of licensed insurance professionals available all across Washington State, primarily in King County area, serving Maple Valley and Woodinville from the get-go. I am an insurance advisor. I lead a team here at McLaughlin and Associates. And what I would like to highlight today for everybody is that when you hire an insurance professional, it's very common nowadays to talk to someone about the features and benefits of the policy, whether that's online direct through a 1-800 number, or you sit down with an insurance professional like myself to find out what's going to work best for you and get that started. Usually savings are involved, maybe some extra features, like I said, that you didn't have before, and that's all great. That's part of the process. One thing that really makes an insurance professional stand out among the rest and really weather the industry over time is if they're staying up to date on what's going on with the industry. And this year, there is no better time for me to share an industry update than what we've been seeing previously. So today's industry update is going to be primarily just on one action that's been taken in our industry. It harkens back to actually when I started my insurance career about 13 years ago when we had the housing market crash. You would think that the two are independent, but they're truly not. I started my career talking with people about how to weather that, making some drastic changes to their policies when people were facing paying their insurance bill versus putting the food on the table. These are some really serious things that have to be considered. And so I want my customers to know that I'm with them during the best of times where we're talking about features and benefits and savings, but we're also here for the tough things too. And that's the nature of what insurance is to be there when things go wrong. So the industry update I would like to present today is about what we call OIC credit. Now, what OIC stands for is Office of Insurance Commissioner. That is the regulatory body in Washington State that our people elect to make decisions about insurance. They tell us, the insurance company, how we need to do business. It protects the consumers from insurance companies being greedy or doing things we're not supposed to do, but it also protects insurance companies from making sure that things aren't passed that lose the insurance company's profits so that we can become stable and pay claims. Mutually beneficial. And the nice thing is it's regulated. I always like to tell people, think of your insurance company as a financial institution because we are highly regulated, just like your bank. Now, the event that I would like to mention, obviously it goes without saying, we had the COVID-19 pandemic announced in March of 2020. That was big for everybody. Now, what insurance companies did to respond is, one, they blocked cancellations for billing issues, which is great. It meant if you couldn't pay your bill, that you wouldn't lose your policy or incur fees. That was huge because now if you pay late, you accumulate fees. You can cancel your policy but still owe money, but also if you have a lapse in coverage, that's going to cost you more when you get a new policy, or you might not even be able to get the same policy you're on now. There are big ripple effects from something like that. 2, we started refunding auto premiums. We knew that people weren't out on the roads driving as much as they were, causing the same amount of claims. So about 15% of that auto premium was refunded back to customers. So that was March of 2020. June of 2021, the Washington Insurance Commissioner, the OIC, invoked an emergency rule to remove credit from insurance ratings for both auto and home. Now, most of you have probably heard of this from your insurance professional. If you haven't, call them now. This is actively happening since June. But essentially what that means is the way we calculate what people pay on a monthly basis to go in that pool of money to pay claims, part of it is based on credit. If you have good credit, you're getting a discount. If you have weaker credit, you're getting a bit of a surcharge. Now, by removing that as a rating factor and doing it quickly as an emergency rule, that caused that discount to go away from customers with good credit and that surcharge to go away from customers with weaker credit, causing about a 60% swing plus or minus across the state of Washington, all insurance companies that do auto and home. So if you drive a car, or I should say own a car in Washington state, or you live in Washington state, this impacted you in some way, shape, or form. Now, what we saw is November, just last month, I can't believe we're in December already, it was announced that that rule is being revoked. It was found unlawful to be put forth as an emergency ruling. So that was done in the Washington courts and at a legislative level. So we are awaiting the Office of the Insurance Commissioner to actively pull that back. So what the future holds is a little unknown. But as we see right now, the projected outcome is that that will be pulled back and undone. Okay. Now, moving into what did our team, McLaughlin and Associates, do about this? Because it's fine and dandy to announce these things as news, but are we sitting back and riding the roller coaster, or are we doing something for our customers? So March of 2020, when the pandemic was announced, we contacted every customer individually to offer adjusting their billing or their coverage as necessary to proactively weather that. And that was in March of 2020 when it initially happened. We were able to fortify our customer accounts to weather the unknown, and we still stay in contact over time. In June of 2021, we heard that that was taking effect, that removal of credit from the insurance premiums. The effective date was June of 2021. In April, we sent out a proactive communication to all of our customers, letting them know that this was happening. And we had individual meetings with the people who were going to be the most affected to see how we could implement solutions to take care of that as well. Now that we are in November of 2021, there was a hearing that was had about this emergency ruling. We actually participated in that. That was an agency first. We don't typically get involved in legislation, but with the impact that we saw on our customers, we felt it was important to share that information in the public hearing. Our highest impacted customers are now protected until May of 2021 due to our proactive efforts that we made in April of 2021. So what the future holds is our continued process where we keep in touch with these current events. We turn that into proactive programs that we roll out to each of our customers, and we divvy that up among the team to make sure that our customers have what they need moving forward. We don't have a crystal ball, and in insurance, I know a lot of what we do is reactive when big bad things go wrong. But sometimes with things like legislation, we know what's coming down the pike, and it's important to assess that information, see how it potentially impacts customers, and come up with solutions to offer. And it's not the same for everybody. So I can't stress enough that just simply being in contact and making sure that we're offering those different solutions and tailoring them to different people, it's always fundamentally going to be part of what we do. So all in all, I've introduced you to a little behind the scenes of how we deal with industry updates at McLaughlin and Associates, your insurance team. And I look forward to any follow-up questions that you have for me.